At the end of a long day of driving, exploring, and adventure, we often look forward to a beautiful campfire and a delicious dinner. Before we can get to this beautiful scene, though, we have to get camp set up without wrecking our marriage in the process. Welcome to Adventures with Heckenback. In this video, we'll share with you some of our strategies for getting camp set up simply and quickly so we can get on to the good stuff. When we had the rooftop tent, pulling in and parking wasn't a big deal. Now that we're pulling the camper, it adds a new layer of stress to our setup process. You may have seen a few of these memes or watched this happen in campsites near you. Tim has experience pulling and parking various types of trailer for work, and he could probably do this just fine without my help. But of course, I want to understand how to park a trailer and learn how to do it myself. It can be stressful, but I prefer to look at it as an opportunity to improve our communication skills. Maybe what you need to do is back into the drive a little bit and maybe pull around wider. Because there's a tree over here.
Right straight behind me.
Yeah.
I need to...
Oh, if you can turn it sharp like that, you'd probably be okay.
Good?
Yeah. I wish we had thought to set a camera up so you guys could see more of what was going on. We're still learning about making videos, and sometimes we just forget, especially in situations like this where it was a little bit stressful because we had so little room to maneuver. This was a really nice campsite. There were just a lot of trees scattered around the perimeter that you had to really watch out for. You know, they say patience is a virtue. Watch that tree on your side. I was gonna say, if you want to get backed up further to where you can kind of pull it over more, you've got a pretty open space behind you. I can come around on your side just to make sure, but you can go back quite a ways. Just watch that tree right there, that second one. Since this is a new part of our setup process, it's also the part that we need the most practice at. I did a little research after we returned from our trip and found a couple of interesting websites with some tips for parking a trailer as a couple. I'll be sure to link those in the description. We need to have a shared understanding to do this well.
Step forward. Is that where you want it?
I'll walk around the other side and see. That wasn't actually what I meant for you to do. I meant straight, that you could back straight back up this big open space here and then be able to pull it closer to the fire.
Okay, look in the mirror.
I know.
All I can see is trees. I can't see.
Yeah, I understand. I didn't realize that you couldn't see. I meant for you to just go straight back, but I guess I didn't say that clear enough. Not turn your wheels. Well, that won't work because we're too close to the tree. Maybe from where you are now, try to pull up a little bit more and back up. get the trailer this way. 5 feet. One of the best tips we can give if you're new to parking a trailer as a couple like us is to not make it personal and not take it personal. So don't attack the other person. Remember that you're seeing things from different perspectives, and don't take it personal. Tim and I have learned each other's stress language over our many years of marriage. He gets gruff when he is stressed, which used to make me mad, and I laugh when I'm stressed, which used to make him mad. But we've learned to not take those things personal.
Okay, you do realize if I straighten my wheels out, the trailer doesn't go straight with me.
I'm not saying it's always easy to not get mad. It does take some work, but most things that are worthwhile do take a little bit of work. We're planning many more adventures and travel in the future, so it's worth it for us to figure out how to do this well now.
Go look on the other side of the fire pit.
Our goal is to eventually get to where we can just do all this with hand signals and not have to yell back and forth. I don't know if we'll ever get there, but we're going to try. I think that's good. We can check, you can come out, we can check the level, just because we could push it back further if we feel like it's too close to the fire pit. Okay, so we found a pretty good campsite, we think. So we got our Campinawe backed up here in its spot. We need to clean things up here a little bit. So this is one of the things with dispersed camping. Sometimes you got to straighten up the site a little bit, make it work for you. Nice, fairly level site though. Wasn't too bad. We had to put just a couple of leveling blocks under one side. So setting up camp is pretty easy. We put a couple blocks under this one tire. It was just a little bit off level. Pull out our step stool. We pulled out a couple chairs. And Tim is unhooking here the safety chains and everything. We will get it leveled front to back. And then we're pretty much done. We'll see what else we need to set up here, what else we want to pull out, and we'll show you that. Another thing that has really helped us make setup simple and quick is to have a specific process that we both agree on. We had this down pretty well with the rooftop tent. When we pulled into camp, we knew who needed to do what and in what order. Now that we have the Campinawe, it's going to take us a little while to figure out the exact steps and who needs to do what when, but we're off to a pretty good start. The first thing we do is work together on leveling the trailer. We level it side to side while it's still attached so that we can pull it back and forth and get it up on the levelers, of course. And then we unhook it and level it front to back. If we need to move the truck, Tim does that while I start cranking the foot down. If we don't need to move the truck very far, Tim just pulls it forward. He starts cranking the foot down, and I go to the back of the trailer and start getting stuff ready for the stabilizer jacks. Then we take a little look around the campsite together to see if there's anything we need to do and to think about where we want to set stuff up and how we want to set it up. Again, so that we can both be on the same page as we begin to do our individual jobs. In this campsite, the rocks from the fire ring had been moved around in other places in the campsite. So we decided to take a little bit of time first to rebuild that fire ring so that Tim could get a fire going, since we were going to be cooking dinner over the fire tonight. I worked on moving the rocks while Tim started to unload the truck. Usually, Tim is in charge of unloading what we need out of the back of the truck. When we had the rooftop tent, I would be up in the tent during this time, getting everything made up in there. But now with the Campinawe, we don't have to do that anymore, so that frees up some of my time. That gives me a little more time to set things up around the campsite and to make a decision about whether we're going to set up the privacy tent or not. We base that decision on two factors: how long we're going to be at this particular camp and what the weather is going to be like. There we go. So we decided to go ahead and set up the privacy tent here and put the camp toilet in there. So whether we put the camp toilet in, take it out of the trailer, kind of depends on how long we're camping. If we're just staying overnight or we're staying someplace that has restrooms, a lot of times we'll just leave it in there just in case we need it. But here where we're dispersed camping and there are no bathrooms and we're going to be here for a few days, we're going to go ahead and set the tent up. So this is only the second time we've set it up. So let's see how long it takes me to figure it out. This is a new, bigger privacy tent that actually came with the Campinawe. Before this, we had one of those single size ones that just kind of popped up. This is a deluxe privacy tent. If we're only going to be at a campsite overnight, we don't really think it's worth it to set the privacy tent up, so we'll just leave the camp toilet in the trailer. If we're in a really private location, we may pull it out without setting up the privacy tent. That's actually what we did when we were in Wyoming. If we're going to be in the same place multiple nights, though, we'll often go ahead and set up the privacy tent unless it's supposed to be really, really cold. Another tip we would give is to know what's going to take both of you to accomplish. This privacy tent is new to us, so we're still learning what it takes to set it up. I was thinking I could set it up by myself, trying to remember back to the first time, but it is actually something that takes both of us to set up. Oh. Yes, I could use a hand for just a second to get this in here. Like it has to arch just a little bit. There we go. Thank you.
You're welcome. She needed my muscles. Definitely wasn't brains.
If you know what's going to take both of you, then you don't get so frustrated trying to do something by yourself. And you can plan it into your routine to make things flow a little bit better. Okay, yeah, I need help. I don't know that I could do this by myself. I like to think that I can do everything by myself. Well, I just think we have to get on opposite sides. So get the next one.
This one?
Uh-huh. And remember, the pin goes in one end, and then the other end goes in the thing. It was much easier and quicker to put it up together. So that's something we'll keep in mind for the future. We try to get everything set up so we're ready to crawl in bed before we sit down to relax and to then start making dinner. So we have everything set up now. Set up the privacy tent. Tim's got our table set up. So we're ready to relax for a little bit and then start making dinner. So while we're here, we'll have to clean up. So this isn't ours. We haven't started drinking yet. And there's some other trash laying around. So there's that. Over here, we have somebody's toothpaste. We saw a Walmart bag someplace else. So while we're here, we'll pick all of this up. Okay. Time to relax for a little bit. Are you ready for a beer? Yes. The sun is setting. You can see it back there through the trees. There's this trail down here. Okay, so time for a beer. In the next video, we'll show you how we're going to make turkey pot pie in the Dutch oven over the campfire. We hope you enjoyed this video and that you found something useful here. Thank you again so much for watching. Right now, we're going to enjoy this beautiful campfire a little bit longer, have another beer, and enjoy some good conversation.